All right, welcome back into another NBA DFS video. My name is Eric Polzin. You can follow me at 905 Sports. I'm going to be breaking down this big 10-game slate on Wednesday evening. Now, there is a lot of injury news that we are going to go through here at the top of this video, but we're also going to be breaking down the top value plays for both FanDuel and DraftKings, and then giving you guys a first look build for this slate. Now, this is going to change throughout the day for sure. Okay, this is first look build, just trying to get a good feel for the slate as well. I do want to remind you guys that yes, the slate will change throughout the day, especially with how big of a slate that we have. Yesterday on a small 4-game slate, it changed before lineup lock. You had Josh Giddey be ruled active. Okay, that changed somewhat of the dynamic of the slate. Maybe instead of playing Shai, who ended up being a great play as well, still wasn't a bad play. Maybe you got onto Steph Curry, which helped you out a little bit more. Sometimes it can be those small edges that help you a lot in NBA DFS. So just a reminder to be in the Discord chat before lineup lock. Link to that's in the description below, as well as the link to all the tools that you'll see in this video as well. That will continuously update throughout the day, which will continuously help you to gain an edge throughout the day and on tonight's slate. And if you guys enjoy this coverage, just make sure to give a like and subscribe. That helps the channel out a lot. All right, so touching on the players that are listed out right now. So Damian Lillard is listed out. So I think that's just going to mean Anthony Simons here is going to be a pretty good play. Usage-wise, across 88 minutes thus far this season, sees 30.2% usage rate, which is about an 8% to 9% bump in usage rate. And then he scores on average per 36, around 36 DK points, which at his current price point is not good enough because on DraftKings, they really bumped up his price. And let's just see. Let me make sure FanDuel is priced up as well. Okay, so that's kind of the unfortunate part of it. Like, he is a great play, should see more usage and should get around 36 minutes, but he might be someone that is more of a floor play. Now, Memphis has been a decent matchup, a matchup in which you've kind of been able to target and do well against. So it is within the realm of possibilities that he will step up. We've seen 2 out of his last 3 games be really spectacular nights, and that's what we'd be hoping for with him as a play tonight. Not a must play, but a play that's encouraged. Let's put it that way. From there, De'Aaron Fox is out. Okay, so with De'Aaron Fox out, we do expect Davion Mitchell to see an increase in usage across 100 minutes thus far this season. His usage rate with De'Aaron Fox out is about 20%, which is pretty good. Per 36, he's averaging 30 DK points. So the question is, will he get 36 minutes? Let's see. Got him to get right around 33 minutes. So at his current price point, especially on DraftKings, he should be someone that you're looking at because he should be someone that gets you around 25 DK points to maybe 35 DK points. Should be a good price point play. And then Brandon Ingram, well, I do want to touch on Kevin Huerter as well. He could be someone that steps up a little bit as well. He's kind of priced up as well, though. His usage rate with De'Aaron Fox off the court, it's about 24%, and per 36 is averaging like 49 minutes. Now, that is a much more small sample size. It's about like 40 or so minutes this season, 40 to 50 minutes thus far this season. So not exactly a big sample size going into that for Kevin Huerter, but he is someone that you could possibly play as well. Then looking at that, yes, we have Brandon Ingram ruled out. Okay, so with him out, we kind of see the owner or the usage be spread across all of them. Zion, CJ, and Val, they all see about over 24% usage rate and all averaging over 40 DK points with Ingram off the court. And you have Marshall as well, about a 20% usage rate as well, averaging 31 DK points. Now, for all of them, it's like, are the minutes going to be there? That's the biggest question. So we'll touch on those plays more so here in a second. Zach LaVine just gets bumped to really DeMar DeRozan. That's pretty much it for noteworthy outs. And then we'll look at game time decisions. Terry Rozier, we need to see what's going to occur there. And then Andre Drummond possibly as well. That could actually mean something. Cody Martin as well. We could see potentially that be something worthwhile looking at on this slate. Maybe that opens up some value. But speaking of value, let's break down the value on the slate. So we're going to start with FanDuel here. Kevin Huerter. So Kevin Huerter's a lot cheaper. Well, not really that much cheaper. He's not cheaper on FanDuel. Interesting. Still the best value on the slate. I mean, I get it. Like I touched on it, guys. Like he does get a big DraftKings bump with De'Aaron Fox, or not DraftKings, DFS bump with Fox off the court. Projected to get 35 minutes. I mean, that makes sense. Okay. Let's just look at the game over and unders as well. Maybe that's a game that we want to be targeting. No, I mean, it's not one that we're staying away from. Yeah, so there's only like one standout game on this slate, but none of them are ones in which you want to stay away from. So just noteworthy there. Spread's close enough. Maybe the Detroit-Milwaukee game you stay away from for blowout purposes. But other than that, pretty solid there. So yeah, Kevin Huerter makes sense. So all the Sacramento Sacramento Kings players are kind of popping up there. Harrison Barnes, he's someone that kind of just a safe play, kind of just a shoulder shrug play, like I've mentioned a few times now. Keegan Murray, I'm fine with. Not a perfect play. Should be, 25 to 35 DK points, FanDuel points. Not terrible. The minutes should be there. Yeah, DeMar DeRozan on FanDuel. That's a great price point for him in a pretty awesome matchup. That'd be a spot I would look for him at. That's actually really good, guys. So yeah, FanDuel, DeMar DeRozan makes too much sense there given that price point. Like yesterday, Wendell Carter and Cam Johnson were basically, I don't want to say locks, but close to that on FanDuel, given their price points and given their expected value. That's almost DeMar DeRozan for me on the slate. Now, obviously a bigger slate, so you don't have to say anyone's a lock, but he's someone I'm definitely looking at there. Man, I don't know if I can go with Reggie Jackson again, but that is a cheap price point for him on FanDuel. Might be worth just kind of testing out there, throwing it out there, see if he does well. I don't hate that idea. Davion Mitchell priced up a little bit on FanDuel compared to DraftKings, but still a pretty solid price point for him. And then nothing too crazy from there. Let's take a look at DraftKings value. Yeah, Kevin Huerter, a lot cheaper on FanDuel or DraftKings compared to FanDuel, so someone you can look at there. Davion Mitchell, yes, someone you're looking at. Patrick Williams, okay, that's interesting. He is pretty cheap there. Let's see what minutes he's projected to get. 30, okay, so yeah, if he does get 30, then he would be a good play. Let's see here. He has been getting 30 minutes the last 2 games. And that's with Drummond out. Interesting. Could be a good value there. So what sucks is I do like PJ Washington as a play as well, if Terry Rozier is still out. But on FanDuel, you can't play him. And on DraftKings, he's almost priced up too much to the point where you can't play him. I will say, still cheap enough to the point where you can roster him a little bit, but not someone you're particularly going out of your way to play too much. I will say, I don't know what's going on with Brook Lopez on DraftKings. What does the guy have to do? He gets a same matchup against Detroit, a matchup that he just went for 39 DK points against. Been extremely consistent this whole season. Just a strange price point for him. He should be able to go off and have a pretty solid game once again. 30 DK points should be within the realm of possibility, should be what he gets in this slate. So strange price point there for DraftKings. I don't really know why they're missing him thus far this season. I'll show you guys that on DraftKings as well. His worst game thus far this season has been 27 points. He's had the upside to go for 40 DK points. As long as the game doesn't blow out, he should be a strong play. Okay, rebounds have been there. He's getting a couple of blocks a game. Obviously, that helps a lot. Making, 3-pointers, but he gets a good matchup against Detroit. That is just a strange price point for him. So I don't really know what's going on there. Okay, so just showing you guys the projected ownership as well for this slate using FanDuel to start. So yeah, DeMar DeRozan kind of looking like a clear value. That makes sense. Probably will be more chalk than he should be. Josh Richardson, we'll have to see. He's not someone I'm would particularly go out of my way to play if he's active, but sure, if you end up on him, you're fine with it. You're not changing your build. Giannis being cheaper on FanDuel than he is on DraftKings, that makes sense as a pay-up play. Davion Mitchell makes a lot of sense. Could usually roll with him. Sharp on FanDuel. He is a lot cheaper on FanDuel compared to DraftKings. So if you were trying to get some value in the Portland game with Lillard out, he would be someone you can play. Zion, yeah, I guess. Drew, I like. Drew Holiday, I expect him to go for 40 DK points. That makes sense. Pascal Siakam, that's a high price point, but you could usually go for 50 DK points. Dennis Smith, if Terry Rozier is out, it looks like people are just going to continue to roll with him. Gordon Hayward, kind of same thing. Safe floor. Production should be there. Who are we not seeing popping up here that should be? Where Kevin Huerter, a guy that is projected to be a really good value, is not showing that much ownership. So kind of interesting there. All right, now real quickly, just getting into the guard situation. So just throwing in the 2 players guard-wise that I really like, that I already touched on, just to show you guys it. So those are a couple of the guard plays that I like. Increase in usage and role, we should be playing with them. Then we'll just go with Huerter because he is projected to be a great value on DraftKings specifically. And then we'll go with Patrick Williams as well as PJ Washington, some of the best value on the slate for now. Okay, but I do just want to touch on the guard plays as well individually. So yes, Luka, if you can afford to pay up for him, do it. Okay, I'm fine with that. I do want to call out Donovan Mitchell as well. Interesting play, went for 50 DK points against Boston the last time out, but that was an overtime game. He saw 46 minutes in that game, which is a lot, but he has been getting over 37 minutes as well. So, if his shot is not completely cold, he does have a nice floor of around 40 DK points with the upside, obviously, to go for 60 or so. So not a terrible play. CJ McCollum, I'm perfectly fine with as a play. I do think he'll get to around 40 DK points tonight. Not someone you particularly need to play. Drew Holiday, I do like a lot as a play. The last 2 games, 66 and 52 DK points, and been pretty good except for 2 games, especially given the price point. The matchup's what we like, though. The last game against Detroit, 37 minutes, which the game stayed close. So it wasn't a blowout, so he did get those minutes, but was able to get 52 DK points. Okay, this has been a matchup in which you want to target the whole season, so he's someone that could easily go for 40 to 50 DK points. Cade Cunningham, I was a little bit worried about his production in this game a couple of nights ago when they were facing the Bucks. Still was there, guys. I mean, he has been a stud. Really, besides one game, been a stud, DFS-wise. So 3 straight games of over 45 DK points. He is certainly someone you could look at, especially if this game stays close. He should be someone that is hitting value. Kevin Porter, I'm fine with. Dennis Smith, I'm fine with. Josh Richardson, all right, he is active. He is going to play. I'm fine with it. Like, not someone I'm going out of my way to play, especially on DraftKings. Maybe you could play him on FanDuel, but I don't know. Like, the shot attempts just aren't there enough. And, the assists and rebounds, maybe. I don't know. I feel like it's a play that you would kind of just be forcing in to make. I don't mind. Had a good game last game and has had 4 straight games that were pretty solid as well. Obviously got injured in the San Antonio game, but, very solid. Gets a good matchup with Charlotte. If Zach LaVine is out, that should just cement his role. I mean, the usage and DK points doesn't change with Zach LaVine off the court. It's a small sample size, but at the same time, should be kind of locked into 25 to 30 DK points. So a pretty safe, relatively safe play given the matchup. Malcolm Brogdon's a guy that could go for 30 DK points. Colin Sexton, maybe he gets a little bit more run. Not someone I particularly love. So if Kobe White is out, then Caruso and Dragic become interesting plays. I just don't know how much run Goran would get on a back-to-back. Probably just a back end of a back-to-back, probably just 20 minutes like he had last game. All right, looking at the forwards, yes, same thing with Luka, with Giannis. Like, if you can afford to pay up for him on this DraftKings slate, you can do it. Now, in the last game, he wasn't needed to do much, which is weird because he's scored 31 points. But DFS-wise, okay, he had 5 fouls, which is interesting there. This is his worst game thus far this season, DFS-wise. 44 DK points. Yes, you're paying up a lot for him, but great matchup. Could be someone that easily gets the 50 DK points, 60 DK points. You wouldn't question it. Zion, I'm fine with. DeMar, I'm fine with. Lauri Markkanen, I'm definitely fine with. But a guy that I've played every single slate I think he's been on thus far. Going to continue to roll with him, although the matchup's not perfect tonight. Still someone that, honestly, given his price point, given his production, still too cheap. DraftKings is slowly getting on Markkanen, and so it's been a nice sweet spot this season. Lot of solid nights because of this bad pricing. So, I thought Grant would actually get more usage, more shot attempts with Lillard off the court, and maybe he does. Maybe goes out and chucks the ball 20 times. Something that I could see happening, not something I'm particularly going out of my way to play, but in a GPP where I'm making an educated pivot off of ownership, he'd be someone that you could look at. Portis, I don't mind, could easily go for 30 DK points against Detroit like he did in the previous game. Justice Winslow is a play I think a lot of people are going to be on because he should be a safe play, like 20 DK points. Maybe gets you the upside to go for 30 DK points. Just not enough shot attempts. If he gets more shot attempts in this game, sure, 12, 13, then he has obviously a better chance to be a better DFS value. But I don't know, I'm fine with him as a play. I have been ending up on him thus far this morning, but not someone I'm particularly yes, need to play him. Still, price point wise, fine. Marshall, I do think is a very interesting play. He's played over 30 minutes the last 3 games. Intriguing to me there, his usage rate with Brandon Ingram off the court is about 20%. Per 36 minutes, he's averaging 31 DK points with Brandon Ingram off the court. So a very interesting play. If those minutes are going to continue to be there for him tonight, should be a quality price point play for you on the slate. And then center-wise, I do expect Siakam to have another great night, but he's kind of priced up a little bit too much. Vooch should have a great game going against Charlotte. Jay Val, if the minutes are there, say he gets 30 minutes, could easily go for 40 DK points in this game, okay? It's just whether or not the minutes are there. Whether or not the game stays close is the bigger question. I didn't touch on Westbrook. I need to touch on Westbrook guard-wise because earlier on this season, I was very encouraged to hear reports that he was going to be coming off of the bench for DFS purposes. And we've seen the last 2 nights now, he's gotten in the minutes and the production has been there. He is a very strong price point play for me if he's going to continue to come off the bench, okay? Because that's how they should be operating, okay? It should be LeBron and Westbrook owning their own group pretty much because they're similar players in the sense that they need players around them and they both can't be on the court at the same time because then they hinder each other's production. Okay, it's just stupid. So I'm glad to see that he's finally coming in off the bench, commanding that second unit. And honestly, with that role, we should be locking in 30 to even 45 DK points. Okay, he should be a safe play if that role continues. But yeah, center wise, guys, I'm probably just rolling with Brook right now for now, unless that changes, unless some value opens up. I mean, just so consistent as of recent. Sure, like I do expect Giannis to have a better game, but like I said, Brook's worst game has been 27 DK points. You know, given this price point, that's not hurting you too much. It would hurt you a little bit, but not too much. And obviously almost went for 40 DK points against Detroit last game. And look at that. We have a ton of value left over. So you could easily go with Luka here and then pay up somewhere if you guys want to. Maybe you do go up from center. Zubac, sure. You know, there we go. So there you guys go. I know it was a little bit longer of a video, but it is a big 10-game slate. So apologize for the time of it. But yes, I feel like bigger slate, you need to break down a bigger amount pretty much. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this coverage. If you did, please give a like and subscribe. If you guys want to use the tools that you saw in this video, click the links in the description below, as well as be ready to be in that Discord chat. Come lineup lock. It's a great tool, great asset. Get that confirmation on some plays, or the opposite, get talked off of some bad plays that you might be on. That's also helps as well. So thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe, and good luck tonight.